So today I'm going to talk about, behavioral interventions, as I'm an ABA therapist at an ABA school, which is Applied Behavioral Analysis in Manhattan. I work with students between the age of 13 to 18. The classroom is 1-to-1, and there are 7 students, 7 instructors. Each of us are all case managers of our own students. However, we work with all students, and in addition, I don't only work with the students that are in my classroom. I work with students that are younger, if need be, if there's a day that we're short on staff or anything like that, where we need to float and provide assistance elsewhere if we are overstaffed in our own rooms. So quickly, I'm just going to talk about one specific student that I am most involved in the behavior plan. And if I have time, I'll talk about another behavior plan. The first that I'll talk about is fecal smearing. So I have an 18-year-old student who engages in fecal smearing, which is, I don't want to say common at this age. Typically, fecal smearing is something that occurs with children on the autism spectrum at an early age. And typically, intervention is provided then, and the behavior decreases or is eliminated completely. However, the student engaged in this behavior later on during puberty, and it's been harder to at another school also, so they recently came back to the school that I'm currently at, and it's been hard for the student to get out of the ritual and for the behavior to be eliminated. So the student is currently wearing, as an intervention set in place, a Dickies mechanic jumpsuit to provide a block, because the behavior is very quick when it does occur, and so that the instructor is able to block it and we can appropriately stop the student from engaging in the behavior. And in addition, the student also is on a DRO plus of 20 seconds, which is a differential reinforcement of other behaviors, where the student is reinforced every 20 seconds for having dry pants and not touching their poop. So every 20 seconds, they're able to engage in a preferred reinforcement. We did a preference assessment as the student was getting very satiated on all items, and eventually several of the past reinforcers they're not as reinforcing anymore. So what we did was a preference assessment. We timed how long the student had engaged in this specific activity or engaged with this item. Were they laughing? Were they smiling? Were they calm, quiet? Were they very vocal with their stereotypy high, vocal and physical, to figure out what they were really interested in. After this was complete, now the student we're rotating every day so that satiation doesn't occur. Different items such as like slime, Play-Doh. The student can paint if they want. They love to color. They like to one of their behaviors also is material destruction. So in order to kind of provide a replacement behavior for that as well, I add paper into their reinforcement bin, and they can color and rip it when they want. And it's specifically construction papers, so that it's not to be confused with, you can't rip Post-its that you see on a desk, or you can't rip a piece of paper that you see anywhere else. We really shaped it to be, you're allowed to rip this construction paper, and that's it, and that's carried out through their in-school internships as well. The intervention plan is really, it's changed the topography of behavior, and I think the ritual, and that's clear through a scatter plot that we've made, in which shows the change of the behavior and where it occurs multiple times per day, and then slowly that changed to only 3 specific times. So, it's really evolved over time, and it will continue. And these interventions that we put in place for our students, they're not meant to instantly work. All of these things take time. And that's really the goal for us as teachers and instructors, especially for children with disability. As I said, mine are diagnosed with the autism spectrum disorder. it's really important to stay consistent and contingent with your plans and your work and um, and uh, your demeanor in class to make sure that you're providing the best form of education you can for your students in order to further themselves in their education as well as their community. For my students, the biggest thing is I want them to be as independent as possible as they can in their community, and that's what these behavior plan and interventions are set in place for. Thank you.